Hello and welcome to another episode of Science Monitor, a show that brings to you the most significant news from the world of science, technology, innovation, research, discoveries and much more. I am Aishwarya Kapoor and here are this week's headlines. Indian astronomers at the Inter-University Centre for Astronomy and Astrophysics in Pune discovered 25 rare giant radio galaxies. Scientists at IIT Madras develop a robotic arm for precision surgeries. SciConnect, an innovative science quiz show by Vigyan Prasar, enthuses children in the northeast states of India. Scientists at the Nanoscience and Technology Centre create a nanomaterial to target crop insects more accurately and without wastage. And we bring a special report on the Energy Conservation Building Code 2017 and see how this will help India save its energy consumption and carbon footprint. Our top story this week. A team of 6 Indian astronomers at the Inter-University Centre for Astronomy and Astrophysics in Pune have made a surprise discovery of 25 rare giant radio galaxies. Now, radio galaxies are one of the biggest stellar objects in the universe, but their detection is generally missed by the sensitive telescopes because they emit a weak signal. Science Monitor brings you a detailed report.
A galaxy like ours, called the Milky Way, consists of a few billion stars and is about 1 lakh light years across. A light year is the distance travelled by light in 1 year, which is approximately 10 trillion kilometers. A radio galaxy could be as big as 30,000 to 30 lakh light years across in size. But when a radio galaxy grows to the size of more than 33 lakh light years, it is called a giant radio galaxy. This implies that a giant radio galaxy is equivalent of a staggering 33 Milky Way sized galaxies in a straight line. A radio galaxy is a strong source of electromagnetic radiation or radio waves. Using data from 20-year-old Very Large Array Sky Survey of US-based National Radio Astronomy Observatory, the Indian researchers have identified 25 giant radio galaxies that had escaped the curious eye of astronomers worldwide so far.
In India, we have a very large radio telescope existing near Pune, which is called the Giant Meter Wave Radio Telescope. So this is the world's largest radio telescope which is working in this wavelengths. So we are exploring these objects, this very rare type of phenomena which is happening in the universe with Giant Meter Wave Radio Telescope. So this is one of its kind discovery made in India and which will make a very high impact once we explore these objects further. Currently we are at the stage of understanding the significance of this discovery and its astrophysical implications.
To date, there are nearly 300 giant radio galaxies known to astronomers worldwide. The discovery of 25 new radio galaxies by Indian astronomers has added additional 10% to this list of known radio galaxies. The results of the study were published in the journal Monthly Notices of the Royal Astronomical Society. Of the 25 giant radio galaxies identified by Indian researchers, the size ranged from 30 lakh light years to about 120 light years. In addition to the Intra-University Centre for Astronomy and Astrophysics in Pune, scientists from the centre they research Astrophysiques de Lyon, France, the National Centre for Radio Astrophysics, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research Pune, Max Planck Institute Bonn, Germany, and the Indian Institute of Science Education and Research Pune also participated in the study.
In the center of this galaxy, there are these giant supermassive black holes. So each supermassive black hole is weighing something like 10 to the power 9 or 1 billion solar mass. And this black hole is actually accreting matter from its surrounding. Essentially, all the matter is falling in the gravitational field of the black hole and going into the center. And while doing this, it gets very, very hot. And due to some mysterious process still not fully understood, there are these giant radio jets. These radio jets are actually nothing more than thin beams of relativistic particles, very high energy particles moving near the speed of light. And these produce the radio emission that we pick up from the radio telescopes. So essentially, when we are studying these giant radio galaxies, we are understanding how the black holes produce these radio jets and what these radio jets can do to the matter surrounding the black hole.
The first giant radio galaxy was discovered in 1974 using the Westbrook Synthesis Radio Telescope in the Netherlands. Indian scientists had discovered a giant radio galaxy in 2016 using the Giant Meter Wave Radio Telescope located near Pune. The scientists who discovered the 25 new radio galaxies this year are now planning further studies to unravel the mysterious nature of giant radio waves in the upcoming future.
Researchers at the Indian Institute of Technology Madras have developed a surgical robotic arm which will help in carrying out complicated surgeries. Science Monitor brings you this report.
Robotic surgery or robot-assisted surgery is a type of minimal invasive surgery. This means that instead of a surgeon operating on patients through large incisions or cuts, they use extremely small surgical instruments that can be handled by a robot to perform surgeries through a series of quarter-inch incisions. Robotic surgeries also allow faster recovery and reduced chance of complications due to blood loss. At present, there are only 25 robots for surgery for a population of over 1 billion people in India. Out of these 25, 6 were added recently in the year 2012. Robotic surgery in India has started since 2004 but has not entered into mainstream surgeries. The primary reason is the high cost of the robots. Kidwai Memorial Institute of Oncology in Karnataka was the first government hospital to procure a robotic machine for surgeries. A few private hospitals in India also have facilities for robotic surgery. These include Mulji Bhai Patel Urological Hospital in Gujarat, Apollo Hospital Chennai and Delhi, Medanta the Medicity in Gurugram, Kokila Ben Dhirubai Ambani Mumbai. Robotic surgeries allow surgeons to perform surgeries with higher precision, flexibility and control. But they are presently very expensive. Researchers at the Indian Institute of Technology Madras have developed a robotic arm for carrying out surgeries at a lower cost. For now, they have demonstrated the utility of the robotic arm in the laboratory for training purpose. During a robotic surgery, surgeons ultimately control the robots. They can see the patient's body during the surgery through a 3D camera and provide instructions to the robot. Scientists at IIT Madras are now working to make the robotic arm better in terms of both precision and cost.
We want our surgeons to be trained in surgical robots. At present, there are no facilities to train the surgeons, and those who need to get trained need to go to the robot, which is a very costly robot, which is around 10 to 12 crores, the real robots. Therefore, we thought that it is necessary to have some kind of training available to the Indian doctors so that they can be part of the ongoing surgical revolution, that is the robotic surgery.
The trainer surgical robot made by IIT Madras work on the principle of master-slave robot, where the instruction come from surgeons sitting away from the patients. The surgeon controls the master robot through a computer and monitors the surgery through a camera system. The robots hold the surgical tool and performs the surgery based on the doctor's instructions. The research to develop this robot arm by IIT Madras was funded by the Department of Science and Technology and is done in collaboration with urologists from PSG Medical College in Coimbatore.
At present, what we are using it is for abdominal surgery. So the surgeons can get trained in using this robot for abdominal surgeries. Abdominal surgery, when I say, it means the abdominal parts, body parts, basically kidney, liver, intestine, and that kind of body parts can actually be accessed through this surgical robot, and we can do the surgery.
To bring the robotic arm into clinical practice, the researchers require safety tests in animals and regulatory approvals for carrying out some preliminary clinical trials. The estimated cost of the trainer robot is between Rs 60 to 70 lakhs. Along with providing a helping hand to the doctors, this invention of a cheaper surgical robotic arm will make minimal invasive surgeries affordable to many hospitals and will benefit many patients in the long run.
We'll take a very short break here, but when we come back, we will show you how a science-based quiz show is creating an interest in science subjects. But that's after a very short break. Keep watching Science Monitor.
जागो के अब तीन रंग से सजा है ये आसमां।
लाइक अगर हिस्ट्री को दिखाना चाहिए तो इस तरह से दिखाना चाहिए। वी हैड अ लॉट ऑफ मूवीज जो हिस्ट्री पे बनी है, अच्छी बनी है, बट इसके बाद मुझे लगता है बेंचमार्क चेंज हो जाएगा, क्योंकि इतना रियलिज्म, इतनी ऑथेंटिसिटी मेरे ख्याल से मैंने नहीं देखी है।
बहुत अच्छी, बहुत खूबसूरत फिल्म है, बहुत जज्बाती है, यथार्थ से खेलते हुए एक आप में एक अंदर से एक बात पैदा करती है।
Welcome back. After the break, you're watching Science Monitor. Now, an innovative science quiz program called SciConnect is enthusing the young minds of the northeast states of India. This initiative by Vigyan Prasar seeks to ignite the interest in the field of science amongst children. Science Monitor brings you this special report.
Science Connect is a unique science quiz for young students of the northeastern states of India. It is an initiative of Vigyan Prasar, which is an autonomous organization under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and aims to inculcate scientific temper in young children from the 8th and the 9th classes. Under the Science Connect, students have to register with the State Science and Technology Council of their region, after which they receive a set of 21 science films, which also sensitizes them about science in their daily lives. The 21 science films are based on a number of topics such as Fibonacci, geometry, maths and biology, chemistry and environment, evolution of modern chemistry.
We are trying to inculcate scientific temperament to different stakeholders. Children are one of them. So we devised this program especially for children. And this time we are focusing on the Northeast region. Our interest is not to they become a scientist, but their thinking should be scientific.
The Science Connect quiz is divided into 4 phases. In the first, students are exposed to scientific information through science films. Then, they appear for a written exam in their school that has a 60% weightage from the 8th and the 9th CBSE syllabus, and rest 40% from the films provided by Vigyan Prasar. The second phase of the Science Connect quiz is the district level, where 15 participants from each state are selected. They get hands-on training in science experiments and also participate in the quiz. The objective is to make the students appreciate science so that they pursue it as a career later in life. The 15 participants of Level 2 form 5 teams of 3 students each and participate in a quiz in the third phase or state level. One best team comprising of 3 students moves to the fourth phase or regional final. In the final level, one team from each state will participate in the quiz, and 3 best teams will take home the Science Connect Winner Award and the cash prize.
SciConnect is basically organized for the promotion of science films produced by Vigyan Prasar. All these films we wish to promote in Northeast region, that is very hilly region, and the reach is very difficult in that region. So we have objective of nurturing the students of Northeast region. In Tripura we got the maximum enrollment, around 2,500 students enrolled in Tripura. Then Assam, there are around 1,000 students enrolled, and in all other states around 500 students.
In Science Connect this year, more than 6,000 students participated. The Level 1 results from all states have been announced and Stage 2 is in progress. The country is eagerly awaiting the Science Connect quiz finals to be held in Guwahati in August this year. But if you could not participate in the Science Connect quiz this year, do register next year in early February 2018. You can also watch the science films produced by Vigyan Prasar on its YouTube channel.
Scientists at the Institute of Nanoscience and Technology in Mohali have made a new nanomaterial that delivers pesticide in a targeted manner to control crop insects. Now, the finding could be a boon to the agricultural sector.
Pesticides are used in agriculture to control pests and enhance crop productivity. But more than 80% of the applied pesticide is left unused and leaches into the environment and causes pollution. Scientists at the Institute of Nanoscience and Technology in Mohali have made a new nanomaterial that helps to deliver pesticides in a targeted manner. This new finding will help reduce pollution due to pesticides. It will also help in increasing agricultural produce in the long run. Scientists have found that the nanomaterial binds to the commonly used pesticide chloropyrifos effectively and release it only when it encounters the larval stage of cauliflower pest Paris rapi. The nanomaterial is able to release the pesticide specifically to the insect because the pesticide release from nanomaterial depends on the pH of the surrounding medium. The pH in the insect larva's stomach is acidic. pH is an indicative of whether a solution is neutral, acidic or basic. While solutions with a pH of 7 are neutral, those below 7 are acidic and those above 7 are basic. At neutral pH of 7, the nanomaterial releases only 17% of its loaded pesticide. When it encounters the acidic pH in the insect gut, it releases most of the pesticide, which makes the killing of the pest very effective. The study was published in the journal Carbon. With the help of experiments in the lab, scientists have confirmed that the nanomaterials stick to the plant leaves for a longer time even when it is exposed to running water, similar to what crops encounter during rains or irrigation in the fields.
Nanoparticles based on reduced graphene oxide and a copper-based nanoparticle, when used together with a pesticide, chloropyrifos, allows the pesticide to adhere to the surface of cauliflower leaves to much better extent, and hence the action of the pesticide is much more efficient to kill the pests and hence enhance the action required by the pesticide.
To study the effect of the new nanomaterial on the cauliflower pest Paris rapi, scientists used insect larvae and divided them into 3 groups. The first group was allowed to feed on the leaf sprayed with the new nanomaterial loaded with the pesticide chloropyrifos. The second group fed on the leaf spread with pesticide chloropyrifos alone. And the third group was allowed to feed on the leaf sprayed with nanomaterial without the pesticide. After 72 hours, more number of insects died on the leaf sprayed with the new nanomaterial loaded with the pesticide compared to that one that received chloropyrifos emulsion alone, which shows that the new nanomaterial makes the pesticide delivery to the insects more effective.
In these pests, there is high alkaline pH, which helps in this pesticide delivery. So this ability of graphene oxide to hold and then release in this specific condition that appears inside the pest helped us to develop this method.
The scientists believe that the higher killing of the plant insects by the new nanomaterial is due to the ability of the nanomaterial to stick better to the plant leaves and because it delivers the pesticides in a targeted manner. Comprehensive tests now need to be carried out in the fields. The new nanomaterial can help reduce the use of pesticide in the fields, thereby reducing pollution due to pesticides wash-off, and will boost the Indian agriculture by making pesticides more effective.
We'll take another short break here, but coming up after the break, we'll show you how buildings can be made green, and this can reduce energy bills and also help save the environment. That after a short break. Keep watching Science Monitor.
बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग aspect of a case that led to 3 people going wherever they went after that also and becoming heroes. So it's a really nicely put together film.
मेरी तो गुजारिश ये है सारे ऑडियंस के साथ कि आप आइए और ये फिल्म देखिए और अपने आप को पहचानिए, अपने देश को पहचानिए, किस स्पिरिट के साथ इस देश आज़ाद हुआ है उसे पहचानिए.
Welcome back yet again. Now, with the rising population and urbanization, the energy requirements of our cities are increasing by the day. To reduce India's energy consumption and its carbon footprint, the Government of India has launched the Energy Conservation Building Code 2017 to promote green buildings in India. Here is our report.
The Minister of State for Power, Coal, New and Renewable Energy and Mines, Piyush Goyal, recently launched the ECBC, or the Energy Conservation Building Code 2017. This code aims to promote the construction of energy-efficient buildings or green buildings in the country. Green buildings consume less power and have low carbon emissions that makes them environmentally friendly. The ECBC is applicable for both commercial and government buildings. ECBC has been developed by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency and sets parameters for builders, designers and architects to build buildings that are integrated with renewable energy sources that will save energy without compromising the comfort for occupants. One such green building in India is the Energy and Resource Institute, or TERI University in New Delhi. TERI has also established Green Rating for Integrated Habitat Assessment Council that promotes the development of green buildings and sustainable habitats in India. Griha, as it is called, is specifically designed taking into account India's varied climate and building practices.
There's the Griha rating, which is better in the sense it adapts to Indian conditions as far as the LEED rating is concerned. We didn't go in for that because at that stage TERI had created the Griha rating, and so it should not be seen as if TERI is making its own buildings and then rating them. But however, the new campuses of TERI University, whenever they come up, will meet Griha requirements.
Green buildings like TERI use active energy-saving technologies with a sustainable building design. Some of the eye-catching features are the passive solar design, long-term energy efficiency targets, along with water and waste management. The TERI campus uses 3 types of innovative cooling technologies: earth air tunnel, which is no-cost cooling or heating of the building, and thermal mass storage that helps in storing energy and using it when required. The inner blocks are oriented in east-west direction with the shorter fronts facing the sun. This design blocks direct sunlight and heating. Green buildings are designed in a manner to utilize natural daylight effectively so that it reduces the amount of electricity required for running artificial lights, which helps save more energy.
It's important for every country, every citizen to know how we could actually incorporate green features into all our buildings. There's a lot of work going on to educate builders and the real estate players so that at least those townships that come up, at least buildings which are constructed by these players are incorporating green features in them. And I think a lot of real estate players have realized this and have started.
ECBC compliant buildings are likely to have less operating costs of buildings, less connected load, reduced demand charges, reduced capacity of transformer, panel, circuit breakers, etc. With the adoption of ECBC, it is estimated to achieve a 50% reduction in energy consumption by 2030. This will translate to power savings of about 300 billion units by 2030, with the reduction of over 15 gigawatts in a year. With the help of ECBC, the aim is to achieve an estimate of 35,000 crores in annual savings by making all existing and future government as well as commercial buildings in the country energy efficient in the next few years, and use saved electricity to provide light to homes and energize irrigation pumps, which can help boost Indian agriculture as well.
And before we sign off today, let us remember internationally renowned space scientist Professor U.R. Rao, who contributed significantly to Indian space science. He passed away on 24th of July 2017. Former ISRO chairman and space scientist U.R. Rao has been associated with many national institutes, including Government of India's Department of Space. He contributed in the design and launch of nearly 20 satellites, along with India's first satellite, Aryabhat. Professor U.R. Rao has more than 300 research papers to his name. He authored several major books: Space and Agenda 21, caring for the planet Earth and space technology for sustainable development. Many national and foreign universities honored him with a doctorate degree. He was the recipient of many national and international awards such as the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award, Vikram Sarabhai Award, Jawaharlal Nehru Award, Lifetime Achievement Award by Indian Space and Research Organization or ISRO, Yuri Gagarin Medal and Meghnad Saha Gold Medal. This year, he was also conferred with the Padma Vibhushan, the second highest civilian award by the Government of India. His remarkable contribution to India's space program will be a source of inspiration for many upcoming scientists. Well, that is all for this episode of Science Monitor. You can send your feedback and suggestions to Science Monitor on our email ID news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write into us at Vigyan Prasar C24, Kutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. That is all for this episode of Science Monitor. I'll see you again next week with another episode of Science News and Innovations. Till then, goodbye and take care.